Hi everyone! Live stream! It's Regina again. Today is Monday and it's raining outside. What can I do? Nothing very much, but to be busy with my harvest. So we have a lot of harvest in the last few days before the rain comes. And today, for the last 3 days, actually, I've been processing a lot of harvest. And today I got the carrots. I have also have a lot of Tata, beautiful peppers, guys. Look at these colors. So we're going to ferment. I'm going to show you how to ferment peppers. And also, I have some here that is beets here already on the surface here. These are white beets, guys. Look, I got white beets. Okay. Oh, and I have my scale here. And today I'm gonna show you how to use the scale to actually do some fermentation. When I was starting to do this one, I'm gonna get to just make sure it's just zero. When I was starting to um, ferment, I was wondering how to measure salt properly. And I just go for actually, if you don't have a scale, I just go for actually, I also just go for no scale, that the basic or the most standard way of measuring the salt. And so in the last few years, I'm just going on the standard, like one cup of filtered or pre-boiled water. I add about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. I tried different salt in the past, guys, but playing with salt is a big thing because if it doesn't have the right salt, you can ruin your ferment and your hard work will be no good. And if it's too much salt, then you end up to be wondering, if is there something happening here? Are they gonna be ferment at all? It will be too long for the processing to do some actions. So salt is very important in fermentation, and I experiment in different type of salt, but I only sticking on one salt, and that is basically the kosher salt for pickling. Last time I tried different like sea salt, Himalayan salt, they did not get success result for me, and I did not also like the taste. But in pickling, salt is something that I love because I have that natural saltiness, and my brine has really built up that vinegary taste on fermentation. So let's get started, guys. So you need a scale to do this. And when I was learning this one, I was doing completely wrong because I would just set my scale to zero and then measure it with my jar. But today I'm going to show you how to correctly do it. Okay. So in fermenting, you need to have a certain acidity of your vegetable. And I just go for research of how much acidity do I need. So I just go on by Google. So the tare, you make sure that you set your tare to zero. Okay. So now it's zero, and then measure your container first. So this container of mine, I'm using gram. So you write down your container with the gram. Then the next thing you have to do is to measure your jar with this full of vegetable and water on it. Okay. So now I have 2,654. Then the next thing is that now you figure out the weight of your veggie and your water in your jar, and you need to minus the weight of the end of the bottle alone. So now we're gonna minus that one. I have 2,654 minus 767 is equals. Now I have come out with 1887, or let's just say 1890, and then you multiply that into the acidity that you want to achieve. And according to my research, it's ideal to use 3.3 to 4% of salt. So in 1887, I'm going to now multiply this one with, I'm going to use 3.5. So I'm in the middle of acidity between 3 and 4. Okay, percent. So now I need about 66 gram of salt in each jar, in this jar. Okay, now we're gonna do this one with the, now we're gonna do the beets. Oh, let's actually before I finish that, let me now go to putting salt on it. Okay, so now we're gonna measure our our salt that we're gonna use. Also, the same thing, measure your container first. 1, 2, 4. That is my container. Now I'm gonna add my salt. Actually, this one you're gonna set it to 0. 0. Okay, so now you get your container, you set your third to 0, and now you can add, you can now find 66 gram of salt. So this is how it actually, you need to do it properly. But guys, if you don't have scale, it's okay, because you can just basically, as I said, you can go for standard of it, right? You can go for standard. Okay, there you go, guys. So that I have, this is the amount of salt I need to ferment. This is a big liter of pepper. This is the biggest bottle of pepper, right? So I think it's about, this is about how many? Two. This is about 6 cups, 6, 7, 8 cups of 8 cups of water in here. So 8 cups, 150, 1,000, more or less 2,000 liter of water, 2,000 liter jar. This is the amount of salt I need for the carrots. So now actually what the best part to do is, now I'm going to take away some of this water, put this salt here, and then I'm going to take away some of this water, and I'm going to melt this one. Okay, hopefully I'm not going to make a mess. Okay, now this is the way you're gonna melt the salt that you need on your ferment. So this is the good, this is the right way of measuring your scale of the salt that you need. Okay, and since this, because this, our jar and the carrots are heavy, I don't have to put a weight on this one, because my carrots is already down anyway. And I also find that loading your jar is a technique. Now I have been doing this a lot, so I now know how to kind of really compress my veggies so that they will get too compressed that they cannot surface, they cannot live up to the surface. So it takes a while for it to learn the skills of packing a jar as well. Okay, but the important thing is that pack as compressed as possible so that there is less air that can accumulate on the jar, and that you will have more success of your fermentation. So now we melted the salt. Oh, it's not quite melted yet. Okay. All right, so that's basically it. Okay, now we're gonna put this one here. Okay, I still have some salt on it. It's taking my salt away longer to melt. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing here as well, but we're gonna do that a little later because I don't want to occupy your time. I'm gonna show you after this how to ferment peppers. Okay, there you go. That is all my salt in there. Okay, so right there, and then now you need to cover this one, and it needs to be something that you cannot let the air in. So I do invested on special things like this. This is what they call nipple, and they got a hole on it. So once the enzyme here build up, they will they will have a carbon build up. There will be an air that will build up, and if you get something like this, then you don't have to open the jar and burp it up. But this one automatically, once the air has been accumulated or carbon oxide accumulated, it will escape on the hole. Okay, and it's important also, guys, to make sure that you check it every 2 days, that make sure that the surface is clean, and also make sure it doesn't get stagnant, because if you leave it stagnant, it can build the enzymes of the waste product of the bacteria of the Lactobacillus atis, they can form at the surface, and they can, if it's something that is stagnant, it can develop mold. So be careful. Just make sure that you check it, and make sure that you also kind of move the water once in a while. I just every 2 days I will just basically go here and I will move the water to make sure that it is not stagnant on the surface. So that is, hopefully guys, I give you some hints to how to measure the salt properly so that you will have a successful ferment. I work hard for these carrots. I started planting them for June, and nurtured them June, July, August, September, and now October. It's almost 5 months of hard work, from seeds, from the garden to my jar. All right. So now, because of we don't have very much, I don't want to occupy your time, but I will do the same thing here for later. Okay, so that's it for now there. So that's, I'm gonna show that now. I'm gonna show you how to ferment peppers. All right. So in fermentation, guys, the herbs are the one that I love. I love the in peppers a lot. I have, that's it. So I have in this tool, I have invested also in a glass weight, so that I can make sure that they will not surface up. But the best thing is that packing is an art. I I now know how to the trick of packing my jar. So and I find that packing is an art of doing this one. So I'm gonna put, the first thing you have to do is put all your spices at the jar, so that all the tiny little things will be at the bottom, so that will not surface. Okay, so I'm gonna just about a handful of peppers, and also I'm using the pickling spice. This is the cheapest way of buying herbs, because everything I need is already in here. So I just gonna grab more or less a handful here of my spice in here, right? The more spices you put on your jar, the better they will be, because spices actually help to preserve them. It's actually help to give them that enzymes, and given a little bit of variety of what is in your bottle, right? Give a variety, and it also give a beautiful taste as well. There's spiciness that gives some taste. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna put this one there. And of course, I love to use basil. I always love basil for, I get basil, bay leaves for lac. That is my bay leaves for lac. So just in there, and I just this one here. So now there is ways that you can do. Just that. Just cleaning up on my floor in here. So this one, you can just tag this in, and you can just tag it, and it will come out, right? So that if you don't want to ferment this one. But I don't like to always, in the beginning when I was starting, I will remove them. But doing this, you're gonna leak out the hot and the nutrition of the pepper. So this one, what I'm gonna show you, I will not cut the stick. I will ferment this one with a stick on. Then that way I can keep the nutrition of the pepper inside the pepper, instead of leaking it out on the water. Okay. So I think I should have I should have preloaded my jar, because now you guys are gonna be watching me until I loaded this one. So it's the trick of packing a jar is an art. It is an art. As I learned this one now, there is a trick of packing this one without, so that they will not surface. So it's basically compacting it, and basically making it really tight, so that they will not surface. Okay, so let's get start this one to do this on my hands. Yep. And also, You also, I like also like to see beauty on it, so I will put the red on the outside so that when I look my jar, I can see the beauty of working on it. Okay, so just that, like them. So just be patient there, guys. So this is basically it. It's just basically packing this one, and this one may I have permanent peppers, and I'm still working on my last pepper. And if you put this one in the refrigerator, once all the salt has been already cleared out, or whenever you have that beautiful taste that you want, I store this in the refrigerator, and I still have my pepper that I have processed about 2 years ago, and they are still very good. The only thing, the only thing that is not good in fermenting is that I don't know. Some people can do so many ferment, and think they can leave it on a room temperature. That one I haven't tried at all yet. I Most of my ferment, once they are ready for consumption, I normally leave them and store them in my refrigerator. That's why my refrigerator is actually occupying a lot of space. And that is where my husband and my daughter complain because there is no space for them to put their stuff. It's mostly my veggies. But guys, um, growing your own food and harvesting it and storing it is, for me, is very satisfactory, and it gives me such a happiness of knowing that I am growing my own food. Yeah. So all these peppers is from the garden. Yeah, 5 months, 5 months of growing it, right? And just to mention you too, this is basically the last harvest. This is the last one, because now it's winter. So I harvested them all because I don't want to waste them with the winter cold. Some of the harvest I have done, I had fermented already ahead of time in the past. And some of these, I also have some in the freezer because I also want something ready for me when I'm making soup, especially when I'm cooking fish. I love chili peppers on cooking fish. I like it spicy, right? With fish, right? Okay. So so it's basically cans compacting it. So that is just the trick. Okay. So just be patient with me because there's a lot here to compact. So this is what I do. I'm just gonna gather a small amount, as much as I can hold on, so that I can squeeze them all together. And once you learn this trick of doing this to compact it, it's you sometimes you will not even need a weight to put it on. But in the peppers, a little bit difficult to squish it because they will break. This one I'm probably gonna need some weight to do this one. Okay. So now I'm gonna go on my surface to do this, decorate my surface on the edge. So I have since I learned how to ferment, when I started gardening, I learned how to can, but canning uh, consume a lot of time and a lot of preparation. In fact, I canned a little bit of this rutabaga and carrots last night, and it took me almost 3 days. 3 days of preparing them for canning and processing it. And by the time I finished last night, it was almost 4 o'clock in the morning when I finished my canning. But I got lots that I have had. I got lots. I made a lot. The advantage of canning is that you can store them in a room temperature, and it doesn't occupy your freezer or your refrigerator until you open the can, until you start consuming it. So that is the advantage of canning, and so that's why I lean on canning a lot of my carrots and beets, because I don't have space I don't have space in my refrigerator anymore, and the kids and the husbands are complaining. They got no space to put their stuff on. Um, and I'm the only one who basically really eat veggies in the home. So I'm the only one who's gonna use all this great harvest. So next year, definitely, I with so much harvest this year, I will not be able to finish them in the winter time. So I will have to probably consider to plant less, but I will plant more flowers instead for sure. Yeah, I love planting. I can plant as many things as possible. Okay. So this is it, guys. It's a little bit patient in here. Okay. Okay. I think I got a comment in here, but unfortunately, I cannot see my. I don't see anything. Let me see my comment. Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. 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 So just be patient. So yeah. So just basically, packing is the trick, and the hardest part of fermenting is packing. And I'm learning these skills now too as packing, because it just like now I find that packing is actually an art. It you don't want to just load your jar. You want to have also have a nice interesting look. And now I'm actually putting that nice interesting look in it. So I'm gonna put the red ones on the side, so that when I look at my jar, it's a pleasing thing to see that I got different colors on it. Suggest that. Okay. Almost done. Almost done. So, okay. So that's done. And yeah, that's my chili there. I'm going to add one more chili there. Okay. And you try to also put them as low as possible, so that you can add as many water as possible. The goal of packing is the goal of fermentation is to keep your veggies submerged in water, in brine, in salty water. That is the goal, and also the right salt to bring out the right acidity on what we are doing. So once the natural enzymes in our pepper has is processed all of the salt, it will bring us a perfect sourness and perfect saltiness. And you will know when your veggie is not ready, when it is too salty. So when it's still too salty, it's not quite ready for consumption yet. So you need to kind of wait for another weeks or months for it to get rid of that salt and let it transform into that sourness that you want to achieve. Okay. So it's peppery is a little bit hard to push, because they are breaking apart if I keep pushing. But this basically it. This is the trick of compacting them. Just now, I'm basically just now compressing them so that they will not surface. All right, that's done, 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 done. So just be patient with me, guys. We are learning how to ferment properly, and the art of compacting your jar for with compacting your jar, so that you're gonna have a success fermentation. Okay, almost done. Yay! So I've been fermenting for almost 5 years, since 2019. More than 2019, actually. I think so. I think I started about 2019, when I was very stressed, and I was losing my job, when I'm looking for an outlet, that's something I can focus my emotion, something I can get rid of my anger, something that will help me forget. And so I started, and also because of my health as well. During the time I was very stressed, I got sick, and my health is going down the hill. And I realized that going to the doctor's office to ask for medication is causing one problem after the other. That medication is not the way I could it's not the way to take care of my health. So I went to more on a healthy and more natural way of taking care of my health. And this is it. I have learned how to create the. I started with creating the ginger beer that helped me for my inflammation. Um, and also then I move on to fermentation, because fermentation has helped me my digestive system to cut off with supplement in for my digestive. I cut off. I stopped buying. Now I don't buy probiotics anymore. I don't buy enzymes to help me digest my food anymore, and I don't buy fibers anymore. I also don't buy anti-acid anymore as well, because a lot of that has actually been resolved with kombucha and fermentation. I am more now have I have regular bowel movement because of kombucha, and I have the lactobacillus acids that I'm getting from fermentation help me digest the food that I eat. So I don't have acid reflux anymore, and I don't have gassy. It's cleared out between the combination of kombucha and fermentation. So now we're done. We're basically done with this one. Now I'm gonna show you again. We need to now add salt. Ta, 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 ta. So we have to add salt in here and make sure that this is really inside, so that we don't it doesn't surface. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna add water. This water is pre-boiled. It needs to be pre-boiled, or if you have a machine that cleans the water, then that's great. But I also tried that in the past, and I didn't have a good success. So I'm back to. I have a machine. I have a filter machine that's helped me also to be healthy inside and out. Um, that is helped me for my dry skin to be healthy and glowing, and then also helped me to look at the tone of my face, guys. Before, this is not like this. Before, this is look like an old lady that I could not even look at or recognize. So I went back to boiling water for fermentation, because last time I tried something, it did not work. So now let's gonna just add the water inside. Okay, whoa, I need more. Ta, 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 ta. Always have more. Okay. Just put a little bit to that point. Okay, so just I stopped by where the neckline is. Okay, and now we're gonna measure we are going to measure the salt that we need in here. Ta-ta-ta-ta. We set this aside, and that one. Okay, now we're gonna measure this one. So we know earlier of how much is the bottle size, the weight of the bottle, right? So now we just wanna measure this one. Okay, I have 2,473, and then we're going to minus the weight of the bottle, which is which is 767. So now I'm just doing some computation here. 2,473 minus 767. And I'm going to use the 3% brine on this one as well. So I'm going to just add times 3%. Now I need about 50 grams of water, of salt. So now we're going to do 50 grams of salt. So earlier we measure our container. So we're just going to minus that for later. Now we're going to add, actually we can just tear this one. You can shift the tear to 0, and now you can add the salt. So I need about 50 grams. Oops. Okay. So in salt, if you do not have a weight, I will go for more salt than less salt, because more salt, you have more tendency to be successful, although it will be longer processing, but you know that your produce will not go into waste. If it's low salt, then it will bring out a low acidity, and then you potentially have a rotten fermentation. It may go into waste. So I go more for more salt, or will be a little bit longer for fermentation, but I have more sure that my fermentation will get into succeed, will be successful, right? So now let us put this salt into, let us melt the salt, and then we're gonna add remove some of this water here, so that we can just we can mix our salt in here. Okay, just this one. So just melt the salt. So you get it, guys? Did you get the system? This is basically the procedure of how you do it, so that you're gonna have a success in your fermentation. If you're a beginner, I hope that I have inspired you to be brave and try it. Enjoy your harvest. Make sure you plant. Get ready now, guys, for our next year's planting season. Now is the time to make sure, if you haven't collect your seeds from your flowers, there are still seeds out there. My I'm still collecting some compost seeds, basil seeds, bean seeds. This is the time that you need to collect all those seeds, okay? So that you can use them for your planting for next year and enjoy. Now you're gonna have a pre plants for if you collect your own seeds, right? Make sure everything goes there. Okay, so now we are done with this. And then they're just gonna cover this. And so look at this, guys. So the one that floats, I will just take this one away because we don't want any floaters there. Look at this, guys. I did successfully, right? I did a good packing, and they are sticking there. They are not surfacing. So I'm not gonna need a weight at all. So I'm just gonna skip putting a weight in here, and this is it. Now we're gonna just cover that. Cover it. Yes, cover this one, and this may take about a few months, but in about 3 weeks, it should be cloudy and bubbly in 3 weeks, and then from there, I will wait until the saltiness disappear. That until I get the sourness that I love, and make sure that you label it so you know which of your work have you started with. So you can see that, guys. All right, there is some bubbles that coming up, so that the air from the jars is moving out. If you want to move the air, just gonna shake it. There you go. So you see all the bubbles coming up in there. Yeah. So the bubbles will be coming out. The air's in it. So just remove or shake it like this, and the air will just surface out. Okay. There you go. And just remember, check it every 2 to 3 days to make sure that there is nothing building up on the surface. And if the enzyme produce their own ways of yeast, just scoop the yeast out. And so you're going to have a successful harvest. So this is my life, guys, as a digital business owner. And I'm loving it and loving the abundance that I have getting from the blessings from our Mother Earth. I plant my own food, harvest it, and eat healthy. And from since then, I'm saying I'm living the healthy lifestyle. I'm eating food that is not chemically processed, and it's not I know what I am eating. I know what's in the food that I am eating. So if you're someone out there who is new, a beginner in fermentation, I encourage you to plant next year, collect the seeds, prepare your boxes now, your soil. For now, save all your compost, save your compost, your kitchen scraps, and bury them on the ground. And for next year, you're gonna have a very healthy soil and a very successful planting and a very healthy food during the winter time, all grown by you. So I'm Regina. I'm a digital business owner, and I'm doing this, sharing to you what I do as my love in digital, that I am at home. I am doing what I love. I can do gardening. I can harvest what I have here. I cook my own food from my own harvest from the grown, and I'm very proud being able to do that live because of digital business. Guys, if it's not in digital business, the time that I need to do this is not possible because I used to work double job. I used to work double job and still I could not pay my debts. I was in debts with my double job. In digital, you can create many resources of income, pay yourself, target how much you want to earn, and still live the life that you always desire. So comment chat and let me help you start your own digital business. Oh, why? I got a love in here. Sis Nina, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up, Sis Nina. So enjoy live, everyone. Okay, see you on Tuesday for our question and answer live stream. Bye for now. And share with me, guys, if you are a lover for fermentation, share with me what you love to ferment and why. I would love to try that one as well. But I always grow carrots and beans and pepper and eggplant and basil, and also I think that is the most that I grow because that's the thing that I know that I love and eat the most. Those are those are things. And beets is I started I many years ago I stopped planting beets for some reason, but this year I planted beets again. So I'm going to plant for sure beets, beans, peppers, basil, eggplant, and sweet potatoes. I also growing sweet potatoes. Okay. Enjoy everyone. Looking forward for next planting season. Bye for now. And watch my channel more frequently because I'm going to share more as well of how to do canning in our future. I can a lot of rutabaga and carrots. Okay, bye everyone.